While comfort is at the heart of classic Southern cooking, few restaurants manage to achieve the warm embraced guest feel at Kevin Gillespie's Revival, where Kevin and executive chef Andreas Muller elevate the traditional meat and three to an all-out Southern feast. Add a cozy environment that makes you feel at home, and you'll see why Revival was a classic the day it opened. It's great to be here today with you guys. Kevin, Andreas, thanks for spending some time with me.
Absolutely.
Love the new space.
Thank you.
What an amazing restaurant you've created, and the ambiance is unbelievable. Tell me about it.
It's funny, people say all the time, like, I want my restaurant to feel like a house. I want it to feel like my home. And we said the same thing, except that maybe like we went a little far with it, and we
actually did it.
yeah, right. We just got an old home and put all of my grandmother's stuff in it, basically. So there's no coincidence that it looks just like an old home, but that's what we felt was necessary to set that tone for the meal.
Yeah, and it's a great, it's just so much fun to go around and look at all your old family pictures and antique.
I was very fortunate to grow up in a family that were full of really good cooks. And so specifically, I grew up every day going to my granny's house. That was my dad's mom. And her cookery, I guess that like classic Southern country cooking, I felt like in the restaurant world these days, it was basically impossible to get something that truly felt like a classic home-cooked meal.
So, Chef Andreas, you are really in charge of day-to-day.
Yes.
How are you translating Kevin's childhood memories? And
best I can.
Right, right. That's a tall order.
Yeah, obviously, I grew up in Sweden, so far away from Locust Grove, Georgia. The way we grew up is very similar.
Talking Andreas and I about our childhoods, we found that, maybe my grandmother made this thing, this braised thing, just a little bit differently than his grandmother did. But it wasn't so much about the recipe, it was about the mindset. It was the way that they approached cooking.
Yeah. You could have gone anywhere.
Sure.
You've certainly got a lot of notoriety. You could have opened up restaurants in any city, probably in the country. Why Decatur?
Well, it has a lot to do with the thematic choice that we were making with this. I felt like with all of this modernization of Southern food, we had lost sight of the tradition of Southern food. And so much of that is the communion of people with their families and their friends and sitting down and taking that time for a home-cooked meal. And so there's, if you want to call it, family values attached to it. I think that's really important. And to me, Decatur symbolizes that more than anywhere else in the Atlanta area.
You haven't been open very long,
No.
but what are the favorites so far on the menu?
Fried chicken,
Yeah.
right? I mean, that is beyond the favorite. Chocolate cake has certainly been another favorite, and that is also a personal favorite of mine. I love chocolate. We both love chocolate cake.
We do.
And so that was
Me
sort of a
too.
demand that we made, and it just kept. I want an awesome chocolate cake, and so now that's what it says on the menu. We just have awesome chocolate cake.
One of my favorites actually is the catfish. Really delicious.
That's a
Got
nice
little
preparation.
jalapeno, a little bit of smoked bacon in there. It's delicious.
Some of the other favorites, I think we see a lot of people doing the family style meal here, which was what we hoped for. That was the most, I guess, realistic version of the way people truly eat in the South, at least traditionally speaking.
It has been such a pleasure to hang out with you guys and to hear your stories and some of your tips, and I just love the restaurant. What a gift to Decatur.
Thank you, Mary. We really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.